not. Kids do have to find their independence as they grow. Some of us still have the younger kids. Diane, here's where your advice comes in, because I have the 14-year-old, almost 15, Ava. Twice already, she's asked me, when am I allowed to date? Mom, when am I going to be allowed to date? And she's in high school now. I don't know if there's even an appropriate age. I'm just terrified because of how much things have changed compared to when I first started dating.
I don't think there's one age. I think it's more about maturity and the ability to set boundaries and expectations, not only for the teen, but for the parent as well. So it's, if you feel like you're ready to date, what does that look like? And these are the boundaries and expectations that I have, and these are the rules I have, and this is why I have the rules. Because that's really important too, to explain why you have these rules. And I actually had this conversation with my niece the other day. She's 18. She started dating a couple of years after all of her friends. And I said, you know, what was that like for you? And she's like, well, I knew I was ready to date when I met someone that I could be myself around.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What about, what age did you kind of realize your kids were dating?
I mean, I've always been, there was never, right, like there was an elementary school.
Yeah.
She had always buy her gifts and like would like do, right. And like shoes and like, I'm like, Tiara, I mean, chill. Like we are in middle school, what is happening? So I never put like an age on it or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just like whatever you're going through.
Anyway.
No, like whatever you're going through. She had her little boyfriend in middle school and elementary school, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Ooh, little, you know. Now, as she's 19 now. The last boyfriend she was with, she was in high school and she was like, he doesn't have a future. She was ready to break up with him in like November. My little sensitive, emotional heart is like, well, wait until after the holidays. Really hard time and people are really sad and going through things. And she was,
oh my goodness.
Like 2 days later, she was like, yeah, I broke up with him. And I was like, I respect it. And then I was telling you guys earlier, I don't know that there's an age, like Sangeeta said. I think
if something happens, it's going to happen, and you never know who they're going to meet. But high school for her, you know, there's a lot of kids there. There's a lot of pressure too, and that's kind of where I'm more. The pressures of today seem to be a little bit different from when I was growing up. My first date was at 14, but times were also very different. Like we didn't have so much access to so much. There wasn't so much pressure on social media, you know? It was just a different mindset.
Yeah.
Sarah, you're nodding over there. Tell me what you're thinking.
A couple things. One, there's an epidemic right now of kids in college. I've been reading about this because I find it very interesting. There's extreme loneliness and the fact that they're no longer dating. They're just hooking up they're sexting, they're texting. There is no face-to-face, so we're losing that human interaction. It's producing extreme loneliness, depression, all that stuff. So I think, you know, if Ava, for example, your daughter, you have that honest conversation, also have her set boundaries. Like, do you know, have you thought in your head how far you're willing to go and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and you know, lay those things out. But I think if you can get there, I think the connection, like meeting in person, going to a movie and ice cream, like what's wrong with that? I know everything, you know, love and physical contact, but it's gonna happen online or it's gonna happen in person. And I think learning how to do it properly and face-to-face is an art that's kind of lost these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm with you on the whole sexting and people just not, the whole meeting face-to-face is kind of dying. That's so sad.
It
But
is.
I mean, also to your point, like our mental health is suffering because we have so much access. Our children, we think they're overstimulated because they're on social media and they have all this access to being connected all the time, their cell phones. But the reality is they're even more disconnected than ever because like you need this. I need to feel your presence next to me. I know, Sarah, you might be like Diane.
No. I actually wanted to make a point on maybe why I'm antisocial. My first date was when I was 21.
Your first date?
I brought my prom.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Pathetic. I was at grad school in Northern California.
Oh my goodness!
And this man came to fix my computer. I lost my entire thesis, and so he came and retrieved it, and then he asked me on a date.
Oh yeah, you
love
had to
it.
go out with him.
Where is he now?
I Googled him today because he actually was going to follow me to DC and I told him not to. This is because I didn't date. I should have dated when I was younger. I had no idea. He's now a marriage and family therapist.
Hilarious.
You know?
Yeah, I was 19. My first real relationship wasn't until I was 24, 25. We
Yeah.
were together for 6 years.
Well, see, that's what I
know?
was saying.
I was a late bloomer, but I,
I
also had
was
really
dating
strict parents.
early.
Yeah.
I had strict parents too, but
I think
he was
it's
my
good
best
to date
friend.
early. I
But
think
we
it's
didn't.
good.
We didn't experiment. We didn't get into the nasty stuff till the 20s.
Claudia.
And
I'm serious. I know.
you know, I
But
mean,
nowadays,
I would out of all of my friends, they all had been out here living their lives. I won't say best because I don't know what was going on. They had been out here living their lives. I didn't lose my virginity until I was 16, and then I got pregnant, and I was the first one. So then it looked like your friend Diane. I was like, no, your daughter actually.
well, thank you guys for the advice for Ava. I'll let you know when I start to sense something's going on. But of course, if you guys have any questions for us, you can connect with the mamas. Do so by emailing us at mycoco@9news.com. And again, we hope to hear from you soon. See you next time on Mama Mondays. Yay! All right, let's check out this dude.